Welcome back to the channel, Project Green Bean. This is nothing new. This is something that I would say it's a standard upgrade for any F-body, and this should be like at least one of the first items that you do as an upgrade is the transmission mount, the replacing of the rubber transmission mount with the poly mount, and also replacing the rubber torque arm mount with a poly mount. Now the transmission mount is an easy, couple of bolts in and out in 5 minutes. The torque arm mount takes a little bit more effort. You got to grind out a couple of rivets to replace the bushing in the clamshell, but it's not a big deal. I'm already going to do it, so I figured I'd make a video out of it. Whatever. Hey, click that like and subscribe button when you get a chance. Let's get into it. Torque arm out of its way. We can get this out, hopefully. From Energy Suspensions, this is a nice instructional information of how to install the transmission mount. You see which direction it's supposed to go on a chassis. This must be used. This is actually not a spacer. This has to be used part of the thing. It's a little tough to bolt down because you get rid of these instructions here. See the little gap here? So when you sandwich the two together, but this has like an interlocking piece here, so if this does break, if the polyurethane does tear, which is very rare, it has actually a metal, great example, metal inside the stud here that will keep it from completely ripping apart, which is a great safety thing. Moving on to the torque arm setup. Now the one thing you're gonna have to do is modify. You get to take this apart here, and you have to drill out the 4 rivets out of here to get this bushing out of here, so you can install the new setup here. It goes within here. One thing nice about their stuff is that if you see, it's kind of on the greasy side, which is like a self-lubricating polyurethane, so they don't squeak and rattle. I still put a little bit of grease in there just in case on the actual torque arm, but you can see, look at the squeeze of that compared to something like this. Much better. I recommend doing both of these at the same time, and the reason for that is that you can get the transmission mount out of the way. You have to take a torque arm out, and you can get this out of the way, so you're not fighting with one or the other that's in the way here. See, that's how they're orientated in the car, like that. So you can take this out of the way, play with this, pull this out, and do everything all in one shot. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. That's why I use my junky drill bits on this, and shit like this. Finally. There you go. Oh, upside down. Yeah, buddy, come on, get in there. Yeah, buddy. All right, let's go line up the rear. Oh, yes. My God, what a pain in the ass. All right, that's done. Now, and they should just drop right through like that, like so. Shouldn't have to bang it. Tech tip. Notice I have the jack underneath here. It's keeping the rear from moving around. Even with the bolts, it does have a slight amount of movement. And when you know you got this right, well, technically speaking, when you're stamped steel arm, I mean, they're not perfect, but is that if both bolts drop in simultaneously, shouldn't have to force them in. And then you know you have the pinion sort of where you'll need to be. For you to really adjust the pinion angle where you really want to, you really need an adjustable torque arm, which we'll get into later. All right, this should be a straightforward process here. Very simple. This curved end should be facing this way. This bracket is not a spacer, it's meant to be that way. Take your bolts, get them into place. Yeah, figures. Can't. You notice there's a little bit of wiggle room in here. That's so when you put the cross member, you could have it sit straight. Get some bolts for them. This should go in here, like so. Okay, so the reason why I'm leaving this a little loose is that I want to see to make sure it lines up correctly. Because I didn't mess with the drivetrain, well, I just jack it up while it was still bolted to the cross member when I originally took off the other old mount. So I don't want it to cock either left or right, so we're just gonna, because everything kind of has adjustments over here. I mean, technically you could do this without taking the cross member out, but I did this for filming purposes so you can see what I'm running up to. So I'm going to ever so slightly drop this down. Kind of see where everything lines up. Get a washer and a lock nut. Alright. I mean, this is the way I do it. I tighten this first. Now we're going to go and jack it up a little bit. See how everything lines up with the drive shaft and everything. Yay! That's installed. Nice.